Happening today, the Tennessee House of Representatives is considering a bill that allows only 2 flags in schools. Peyton Kennedy is live in Nashville to explain this proposal.
Exactly. This bill bans any flag that is not a United States or a Tennessee flag from being displayed in schools. So pride flags, Black Lives Matter flags, Blue Lives Matter flags, all of those would not be able to wave in schools. Now, this was introduced by Representative Gino Bolso, a Republican covering Brentwood, Tennessee. He says, quote, "The whole idea is that a school is a place where a child goes to learn, not a place where a child goes to be indoctrinated." The Tennessee Equality Project has protested the bill this month, saying it mainly targets the pride flag, and they won't back down on their rights.
What really matters right now is that we are seen and that we are heard, and that they need to listen to the Tennessee folks that voted them into office in the first place.
The values that I think most parents want their children exposed to are the ones that are the ones that were in existence at the time that our country was founded.
This bill will go through the K through 12 subcommittee at 4:30 today. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about some good news out of Tennessee, because the Tennessee GOP has taken a step forward when it comes to banning indoctrination in schools. And one of the ways that the left is trying to indoctrinate children in woke ideology in school is by putting up woke flags in school, okay? Whether that be the BLM flag, the pride flag, whatever flag, okay? We know that they have a ton of flags out there. I mean, they're like, well, a million versions of the pride flag at this point, okay? But yeah, the Tennessee GOP said, you know what? Enough is enough, okay? We're not going to allow any flags in the classroom unless it is a flag that represents the state or this country or the military or the school. That's it, right? We're not allowing any of the political propaganda in school, whether that be from the left and the right. And of course, naturally, the Democrats lose their minds over what you can only characterize really as common sense, because again, this is against the Democrat agenda, which is to indoctrinate children in woke ideology so that they become leftists when they're able to vote. So again, they're not having that. They're upset. They're melting down. They're crying about it as per the usual. And I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, BioTrust. If your New Year's resolution is about health and fitness, you're not alone. A recent study shows that 50% of Americans want to improve their fitness this year by exercising more this new year, and more specifically, control their weight. What most people forget, though, is that weight is more easily controlled in the kitchen and not the gym. That is why myself and thousands of others are starting to use this amazing supplement to help control their weight. It helps control appetite, manage excess weight, reduce fat, control cravings, and increase energy by using unique science-backed ingredients formulated for reducing body weight. The super nutrients inside help reduce fat mass and waist circumference, while also increasing lean body mass, all of which is helping countless people reach their New Year's goals. Try it today for a whopping 51% off this New Year's. Plus, receive free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, 2 free new ebooks titled Top 10 Foods That Burn Belly Fat and Top 8 Exercises to Reduce Belly Fat, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free shipping. Order this today before the offer ends by going to trendwithpatriot.com. That's trendwithpatriot.com.
Heated debate in the Tennessee State House yesterday. First up, a bill that would ban flags that are not the United States or the Tennessee state flag from flying in public schools. Peyton's here with a look at the arguments that were made.
Neil, good morning. The bill ultimately passed in the House 70-24. with amendments, but that was not without debate and Representative Justin Jones being ruled out of order for speaking out of turn.
It is immoral and unjust, so I'm against it in its entirety, and I believe that what it is doing and the signal that it is giving is evil and wrong. And as people who are supposed to protect folks up here in our positions of power, I believe this is antithetical to that. This amendment is specific to Section 1C, subsection C. A flag cannot be disturbed or altered pursuant to Section 4-1-412. What is that section in particular? It is the section of Tennessee Heritage Protection, and one of the flags that would be protected here is called the quote-unquote the war between the states, which I take to mean, for people who support revisionist history, the Civil War. And so people would be able to show the Confederate flag in their schools, and so I want to move for consideration this amendment to take that out.
On this floor, offering no solutions, offering nothing of substance, but just offering fear-mongering and hate. And that poison has poisoned the body of our politics. That poison, that red meat of racism that we're feeding these white supremacist groups. It'll be no wonder when the next neo-Nazi march will come. Some may argue that this is a neo-Nazi rally happening every time we convene in this body. But what we have to call attention to, There's
objection. Who was the one that shouted objection? Representative Zachary. No, they said objection. I did. Representative Zachary.
Mr. Speaker, I object to the vile things that were coming out of the representative's mouth. He literally disparaged the entire body, and the entire body.
Calling the member to order under Rule 19, Representative Zachary.
What did he ask? I'm sorry, Speaker.
Are you calling the member to order under Rule 19?
Yes, calling the member to Rule 19. Yes, sir.
All right. You are out of order. One more outburst, and we're going on the board. Mr. Clerk, he's out of order.
Step back. This bill was introduced and defended by Representative Gino Bolso, a Republican covering Brentwood. He says parents in his district were concerned about a pride flag displayed in school, and despite their efforts to have it removed, nothing happened. So he says he stepped in to help. His argument is that a school is a place where a child goes to learn, not a place, quote, where a child goes to be indoctrinated. On the other hand, Democratic representatives, including Nashville's Afton Bain, say flags provide social representation and a sense of belonging in a community. Bain called on two examples. One, the Nazi flags that were recently paraded through downtown Nashville. She questioned if this was linked to this bill. She also spoke about a 16-year-old Oklahoma non-binary student who was beaten inside a school bathroom and died a day later. She says representation saves lives.
All children deserve to be loved and to love. We do not support in our caucus bullying or violence against anyone. We abhor it. What this bill will do is simply to allow parents to be the ones to decide what values are going to be instilled in their children.
The presence of a pride flag on a teacher's earrings or a school counselor's door is far from indoctrination. Social representation is not a form of indoctrination. Instead, it is a means of acknowledging and affirming the diverse identities within the LGBTQIA community.
Again, the bill passed with amendments that clarify the additional flags that can still be displayed. It includes flags that represent armed forces or schools. Now, this was not the only time Representative Jones was called out for being out of order on Monday. We'll have that second instance coming up in the next half hour.
Yeah, so you see now you heard that, okay? That bill passed the Tennessee Republican-controlled House 72-24. And it looks like it is a good chance that the Senate will also pass this bill, as their version of the bill would be more restrictive about who can file a lawsuit over a flag, limiting it to students, parents, or guardians of students or employees at that specific school. Now, of course, Democrats are boohoo whining crying about this, and they're also lying about what this bill actually does, because the lie that they're going to tell here, Republicans are banning the pride flag and the BLM flag and woke flags while allowing the Confederate flag in school, right? They want kids to be exposed to neo-Nazi flags and Confederate flags. They're allowing that while banning the pride flag, okay? This is proof and evidence that this is homophobic, okay, and racist. which is certainly not the case, despite what Justin Jones and the other guy, I think his name is Justin Peters, the other guy, Justin Pearson, are saying, okay? I mean, essentially, they accuse their colleagues of being Nazis and racist, right? This is what they do, okay? This is what they do. When they can't get their way, they call their political opponents Nazis. Again, it's amazing how that works. But anyways, this measure would allow certain flags to be displayed with exceptions for some scenarios. Approved flags include the U.S. flag, the Tennessee flag, flags considered protected historical items under state law, as well as flags of Native American tribes, local government, armed forces, and prisoners of war, or those missing in action, other countries and their local governments, colleges or universities, or the schools themselves. Other flags could be temporarily displayed as part of a bona fide course curriculum. Certain groups allowed to use school buildings may also show their flags while using the grounds under the bill. Now, one Republican representative was specifically asked about the Confederate flag and whether or not this would allow the Confederate flag to be displayed. And he said, quote, the bill would not change the current law about when such a symbol could be shown. He said the bill's exceptions could be applied to Confederate flags for approved curriculum and certain historical items that already cannot be removed without extensive state approval. So basically what he's saying is that the Confederate flag would be shown as a part of approved curriculum, right? So you're going to see the Confederate flag in a textbook, right? This is essentially what he's saying, okay? But Democrats want you to think that in Tennessee, the Republicans are trying to hang Confederate flags in every classroom like they're trying to hang pride flags in every classroom, right? And again, that's the issue here, because what you see is overt political indoctrination going on in these schools, and then leftists want to cry foul when you call it out and you say, hey, we're not going to allow this, because there are no other political symbols that are allowed. For example, they're not allowing the Gadsden flag. They're not allowing a Trump flag. They're not allowing any other symbol that you may associate with the right to be allowed in schools, just like they're not allowing these symbols that are associated with the left, like the pride flag or the BLM flag or, you know, whatever, okay? I mean, you can't show any of these flags that have overt political symbolism. Now, again, the Confederate flag is a historical flag, right? I mean, so when you're talking about learning about history, you would think that these leftists would agree with, okay, since they claim that Republicans don't want to teach about slavery and the evils of the Confederacy, right? You would think they would be totally fine with having the Confederate flag be shown in school, right? Because they always want to remind black people of slavery and when we were slaves in this country, okay? Because they want to guilt trip the white man into perpetuity, right? This is what they want to do. So again, I am kind of confused in regards to why Democrats would be upset about their flag being shown in school, the Confederate flag, which is, you know, historically been a Democrat flag, right? I'm not sure exactly why they're so upset about that, but, you know, again, this is what we have here. But I want you guys to take notice, particularly the people who are, you know, black that watch my show. You see how these so-called, you know, black representatives, Mr. Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, how they disguise their so-called pro-blackness, okay? Because, again, these people are characters of civil rights leaders, okay? I mean, particularly the guy, Justin Pearson. Again, this guy changed his voice. I mean, he has his whole fake persona, this pro-black persona that he uses to push things that a large amount of black people don't agree with, right? I mean, these people were boohoo whining and crying about what they characterize as an anti-immigrant resolution, aka a common sense measure when it comes to stopping illegal immigration. These people are upset, right? They're boohoo whining and crying racism in response to wanting to curb illegal immigration. But yet you have all these black people in neighborhoods around the country, like, for example, Chicago, that have felt the effects of illegal immigration, and they're saying, no, this is not something that we want. We don't support this. In fact, a lot of them are wearing MAGA hats now and demanding that we build a wall, right? But again, you have these guys who run around here in the name of being pro-black, advocating for policies that really, in my opinion, I don't think are helpful towards black folks, okay? Because those illegal immigrants that are in Tennessee, where do you think they're going to police them at? Where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go to Memphis, right? That's where they're going to go. They're going to go to Memphis, Tennessee, one of the blackest cities in Tennessee. That's exactly where they're going to go, right? That's where they're going to house the illegals, in the black neighborhoods. But look at these so-called, revolutionaries, these pro-black revolutionaries advocating for illegals. This is what they're doing. They're also advocating for your children to be exposed to indoctrination in school. Indoctrination that prohibits a child from learning, okay? It keeps children from learning what they're supposed to be learning in school. It's a distraction and clearly an agenda to make your child a leftist, right? Because that's ultimately what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But again, it's like I tell you guys all the time, these people disguise their pro-progressivism as pro-blackness, right? They say, I'm pro-black, but they're actually really pro-progressive. That's what these guys are. They're pro-progressive. And you can see how Looney Tunes they are from the policies that they support, right? And also how crazy they get over common sense policies that they're against. Again, it's crazy that we have people voting in these types of individuals into state legislators around the country, pushing these cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, insane policies. It really doesn't make any sense. But hey, it is what it is. The left showing you once again that they are the party of insanity. Okay, I think that Tennessee did the right thing. We should not have any of these political flags in school. We should not have this type of indoctrination in school. Either you can have all of it or you can have none of it. It's really that simple because, again, I'm pretty sure these guys would not be okay with so-called right-leaning flags being placed in school. They really don't want equal rights. They want special rights. And when they get their special rights taken away, they boo-hoo on and cry foul and bigotry and hate and racism and homophobia and transphobia and all that stuff. That's what they do because they really don't have an argument, right? This is what they do when they don't have an argument. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.